Disclaimer! The following episode contains spoilers for She-Ra 2018 Season 1. Don't go crying to your mum if we spoil it for you. You've been warned. Welcome to PodCapers, the official podcast of a place to hang your cape. And this week, it's a brand new year, so let's talk about the gayest thing ever. We're talking about She-Ra! Cue the music! Hello there, capers, and as I said, welcome to PodCapers, the official podcast of a place to hang your cape. My name is Scott James Merridew, and this is the show where I talk about various geek and nerd-related topics, and I'm joined each week by a very special different guest. Returning from the last episode, give it up, capers, for the editor of PodCapers, it's Alex Mirabal.
Hello again.
Hello to you. Did you have a good Christmas?
Yes, I did. Very relaxing and very fun.
Good, I'm glad to hear it, as did I. We've all had a very good time. Actually, no, this last episode came out Boxing Day, so we already established we had a good Christmas.
Yeah.
We recorded before Boxing Day, but it released after Christmas. It was wibbly-wobbly, timey-wimey nonsense. But anyway, in recent weeks, Alex, I discovered a rather lovely little gem on Netflix, She-Ra and the Princesses of Power. Now, Alex.
Yes.
I fucking love it.
Yeah, me too.
I did not expect to love She-Ra and the Princesses of Power as much as I do. It's amazing. I love it to pieces. I love everything about it. I love the animation. I love the characters. I love the humor. I love the drama. I love the sword and sorcery bullshit. I love it all. I even love the fucking winged unicorn Pegasus bullshit. I love it. Oh god, it's amazing.
Yeah, I have been burned in the past by animated shows, so I was wary to get into a new one. And my friend got really into it, and she was like, we have to watch it, you have to do it. And I had been even more wary of DreamWorks because of the horror stories I had heard about Voltron, but I really like She-Ra.
I'm glad you mentioned Voltron, because I also tried watching Voltron. I'm aware there's like 8 seasons of Voltron, and I have only watched a few episodes of season 1. I did not care for it at all.
I didn't even start it. I've seen just like I've seen a bunch of pictures and posts about all the characters, and it just seems very generic, and I don't care.
Well, this thing, I think there must be something to it, because it's continued for 8 seasons, and it's got
over 2 years.
Really? 8 seasons?
Yeah, they just pumped out those seasons. There was one time, and I can't remember which seasons it was, but I remember because I have friends who were into it. It was like one season, and then a week later, next season.
That is a high time. That can't be right.
It was a weird production schedule.
That's not a weird production schedule. That's just a production life. Do these people not have homes to go to?
I don't know how they did it.
Voltron, it started 2016, 8 seasons later, 78 episodes later, it's 2018. I mean, Jesus fuck. Oh my god. That is...
maybe we can kind of hope for the same from She-Ra. I would want fast seasons.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what those later seasons of Voltron are like, but I always take quality over quantity and fast. I am willing to wait for something to be good rather than get something mediocre right now. I'd far rather that DreamWorks and Noelle Stevenson take their time and make the best She-Ra cartoon season 2 they can, rather than just pump it out and just to satisfy the masses. Because, I mean, here's the thing with Voltron. The thing that really put me off, it wasn't the animation or the story or the fact that it's like giant robots transforming and stuff, because, I like that. The thing that made me dislike it so much was the characters. And these are the characters just starting out. But let's see, you got the sarcastic annoying one, the fat annoying one, the stoic annoying one, the 2 side characters, the fucking annoying, and the only character I liked is this character, I think he's called Pidge. I'm not even I'm not sure. I think Pidge is non-binary, actually. He's definitely voiced by a non-binary actor. So I don't know if he's in fact a he or he's in fact a they. I don't know, because it's just like, but they were the only character I found at all interesting. They were funny, but not in an annoying way. They were kind of interesting. They clearly had some sort of backstory thing going on. They were just generally likable. And I thought, wait a minute. There's like 5-6 characters here, all in all, and there's only one that I like. Why am I wasting my time? So I moved on. Not the case with She-Ra. She-Ra, I don't think there is actually a single character I dislike. Like, from major characters to maybe, like, the immortal mum character, but then I warmed to her by the end, so, like, I mean,
like, everyone is like, they have their own personalities. No one's sharing traits, and I think that, like, they all have individual strengths, and they all feel like different people, and I like that a lot. Which was not the case for the original She-Ra show.
I'm glad you brought that up, because I think we can't talk about She-Ra and the Princesses of Power before we talk about She-Ra Princess of Power, whatever it's called. A spin-off of the old Filmation He-Man cartoon. It was originally developed, I think she was originally toys, actually, by Mattel, and Filmation was just like, well, hey, why don't we incorporate that and get our own cartoon? And I have not watched a single fucking episode of the original She-Ra cartoon, except for He-Man and She-Ra's Christmas special, and I only watched that because of Christmas Skeletor. Are you familiar with Christmas Skeletor?
No, but I'm familiar with Skeletor.
Christmas Skeletor is a wondrous thing. He truly is. Basically, the spirit of Christmas infects Skeletor to a certain extent and makes him happy and nice and capable of good deeds, but only on Christmas. And it's amazing because, like, the story of the hero special is like this character Orko, I think his name is, gets put on a rocket that travels through a dimension and goes to Earth. He picks up like 2 kids out in the snow, brings them back to I can't remember. Is it Eternia? Eternia. Brings them back there, and all the He-Man, She-Ra characters meet the kids, and then Skeletor kidnaps them, and he's sort of in a bit of a rivalry with Hordak, and they're traveling through the snow along with this robot puppy, and suddenly Skeletor is like fine holding the puppy and fine with, you know, the puppy licking him, and then the children are in danger, and he just suddenly goes, I don't know why, but I must save the children. And it's fucking amazing. Christmas Skeletor. I mean, and he doesn't like it. He hates the fact that he's full of the Christmas spirit, but he's full of it. And it's just, and He-Man's like, don't worry, Skeletor. Christmas only lasts one day a year. Oh, thank goodness for that. And it's oh god, it's fucking amazing. But that's the only contact I have with She-Ra. And the thing, we said that She-Ra 2018 was the gayest thing ever. But before it was the gayest thing ever,
that's true.
She-Ra was the gayest thing ever.
Yeah.
And because I mean, I'm fucking look at it. He-Man too. It was all the.
God, looking at old Bo is just it's a little bit scary.
I mean, there's no way in the 80s they could ever confirm it. But I think people have said, like, talking about their experiences working for Filmation, like, oh yeah, that place was totally gay. And, and it's clearly bled through a little bit. And I think that's maybe part of the reason why He-Man and She-Ra have had such staying power. Because those cartoons were not good. They were not good. They were very cheap, especially for the time. And not great characters, not great humor, not great action or anything like that. Not even a great lore, to be honest. Like, He-Man's power derives from this creepy castle that's shaped like a skull, but his arch nemesis has a skull for a face. Why doesn't Skeletor live in Grayskull? That makes but anyway. And but I think people's interpretation of the possible coding of these characters has meant they had much staying power, which was why He-Man got a couple of reboots. I know I watched a couple of episodes of the 2002 version, which has had the best opening ever, because it starts with Adam, like, doing the classic, "Hi, I'm Adam, Prince of Eternia. This is, Cringer, my faithful companion. Years ago, fabulous powers, and then boom, explosion, boom, the Skeletor's attacking, and it's like, oh shit, it's by the power of Grayskull, and it's just like, yeah, we're not dealing with that weird, fabulous secret powers intro anymore. Now we're getting serious. And that's like the only thing I remember from it. And so, in a She-Ra reboot was sort of inevitable. Because, and especially in this time where we are desperate for proper female representation, female-led creative teams, and just better opportunities and representation in general. And so then DreamWorks comes along, like the knight in shining armor that they are, and says, okay, you want better female representation? You maybe want possible LGBTQI plus representation? We got that shit for you! Here you go, She-Ra, Princesses of Power, enjoy! And I'm like, thank you!
Yeah, definitely. I love these weird children.
Yeah, because I imagine, I don't know, that Noelle Stevenson and the creative team behind it grew up with She-Ra. I imagine they did. And it's the best kind of reboot because it shows that it's trying something new, it's trying something different, it's updating things, but it's respectful of what came before.
Yes.
So many reboots and so many remakes and so many reimagining of things. It's just like, hey, remember that shit old version? Pfft, we don't do that anymore. No. This is the real shit. The example I always use is that a remake of Annie. Did you ever watch that with Jamie Foxx? And it's just
that one I didn't watch it.
Well, it starts off with like this cute, sassy ginger girl singing in front of the classroom, and they're just like, "Oh, shut up, ginger girl. Here's the new character. This is a much better Annie because the old one was shit." And it's like,
jeez,
just like, I mean, if we want to update it, fine, great. You have to update things in order to fit a modern sensibility, but you wouldn't exist. You all would not have jobs if it weren't for the other version and its popularity, and it was popular for a reason, so maybe show some fucking respect! And that's what She-Ra fucking does!
Yes, it does. I one of the ones I can, like, exactly pick out is when they first introduced Mermista, and the way she's sitting is reminiscent of the old Mermista who never had legs, or at least from what I can find. She doesn't seem to ever have legs. All the pictures I see of her, she has a tail. So it looks like she's going to have a tail again, and then she gets up and walks around.
So I think we should probably start talking about the actual premise of the show.
Yes.
So it takes place on Etheria, not Eternia. They're very distant from the He-Man mythos right now. Who knows what they'll be in the future. But that's okay, because they don't need He-Man. We don't need him. He's fine. He's off, doing terrible, terrible things in the dark with Man-at-Arms. Who knows? And so it follows Adora, who's an orphan who's raised by the Horde, an evil army led by Hordak, who's trying to take over the planet of Etheria. And she thinks that the Horde are good people, trying to restore order and balance to Etheria. But when you work with people named Hordak, Shadow Weaver, and your army is called the Horde, little bit of a hint that they may be up to no good. Just a little bit of a hint. I mean, in fairness, they actually, in the first couple of episodes, they worked very hard to explain why Adora thinks that the Horde is actually good people, because, the Resistance, led by a bunch of princesses, and it sounds way more awesome than it is, trust me, calls the Horde the evil Horde. And when she finds that out, she's like, what? Who calls us the evil Horde? We're not the evil Horde. And one of the other characters is like, everyone calls you the evil Horde. Look at the village that got blown up and ask me again if you think people call you the evil Horde. And it's a question of a perspective, and also it's the environment she was raised in. She was raised in an environment that taught her that everyone else was evil and dangerous and destructive, and that the Horde was the only people that could sort things out. And she's surrounded by fellow recruits to the Horde who are deep down, not bad people. They're not evil like Shadow Weaver or Hordak. And even Shadow Weaver raised Adora and tried to teach her everything she could. And it's not exactly the most loving relationship, but it was a very supportive relationship. And it's probably the closest thing she's ever known to love, except for her best friend, Catra, who is basically this cat person. And when I first saw these characters, pretty soon after seeing these characters, I realised something about the two of them. And that was that they fucking!
Oh, yeah.
They so fucking!
Catra's in love with her. Like, it is so obvious.
She sleeps curled up at the bottom of her bed. She purrs and pounces on her. It's just like, you couldn't be more obvious if you tried.
And if they aren't, they're gonna.
Oh, they totes gonna. I mean, oh my god. And here's the thing, though. That is never confirmed in this show. In fact, though it's very, very clear that there are LGBTQIA plus characters in the show, it's never explicitly stated as such. Not in my vision. Like, there's two characters, Netossa and the other one, and it's hinted very strongly. They're in the background characters. They only really show up in the final episode.
Yeah.
And it's made clear, like, they're constantly, like, touching each other's arms, and one of them calls the other darling. It's just like, you could easily interpret that as them being in a relationship, but they never actually say, oh yeah, we're in a relationship. Or no one else says, oh yeah, they're in a relationship. And that's really what I'm after. I'm into no way about it, no other interpretation. Boom, they are same sex, into each other, in a relationship. Boom, it's there in a children's cartoon. And I don't know what the powers that be's prerogatives were, objectives were in terms of that, or what Noel Stevenson's reactions perspective was in terms of that. But I think this is a very good step forward in terms of representation, in terms of LGBTQIA+, but it's not enough for me because I'm an unsatisfactory bastard.
Yeah, I think they're both in the opening title, so I gotta assume that they're gonna get more character next season. It does feel like the end of this season, like there should have been more episodes, maybe?
Well, there are only 13.
Yeah, there's only 13, and then they, like, the last episode, the last 2 episodes just feels so rushed. And so I feel like they wanted more and can definitely do more next season with Spinnerella and Netossa.
Oh, it's Spinnerella, yeah.
Yeah.
I kept thinking like Cinderella in my...
Well, I didn't notice that.
Really? Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm on the IMDb right now.
Fair enough. And speaking of, let's talk about Noelle Stevenson for a while, because I don't know much about her, but I know she was a cartoonist and comic creator who wrote things like Nimona and the Lumberjanes, and if they're anything like She-Ra, I will probably check them out at some point. They look pretty cool. They've got like art styles that I really like.
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, Lumberjanes is like, there's not really a single character that's straight or cis. Like they're either trans or gay, which is nice.
Yeah, it is absolutely. That's such a good title, Lumberjanes. I love that. And what I love about this series though is it's got an all-female writers' room, and only one man in the regular voice cast who voices Bo. There's other male characters, and there's other male voice actors, and there's other people involved in production who are male. But let's be honest, this is a female-led show. And about bloody time too.
Oh, absolutely.
Because I mean,
I'm shocked this happened. I didn't think this was going to happen for a long time, and I'm very happy that it did.
I think Winona Earp's production team is mainly female. I don't know. I know Carmilla's production team was mainly female behind the scenes, except for the director, but Spencer maybe. But yeah, we need this. We need this. We need. I've said for years, and I've been shown for years, that we need more female creative directors, just directors in general, especially in terms of live action Hollywood blockbusters. We need more female directors. I know a fair few female directors who could easily do great things, but it's always come down to the same old bullshit, you know. Oh yeah, but we want someone who's a bit more experienced, someone's a bit like, yeah. They're not gonna get experience unless you fucking give them jobs.
Yeah.
And it's the secret of my success. Only it's sexist. Just stop it. Just fucking. I mean, for goodness sake, Noelle Stevenson, has she ever been a showrunner or a series creator before? I don't think so.
Not that I'm aware of. I know that she's worked on other things.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she's written a lot of episodes of random stuff. Wander Over Yonder, Bravest Warriors. Oh no, she voiced stuff on Bravest Warriors.
Oh my god, she used to write for Runaways.
Yeah.
I like Runaways. I don't think I ever got up to volume 4, which is what she worked on. But yeah, and so she's done plenty of other stuff. It's just that this is the first instance of her being a showrunner, and fucking hell did she knock it out of the park.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Absolutely.
every time I was worried that this show was going to devolve into a regular pattern and a set formula, she switches it up and stuff happens. It's like, oh shit, something weird is happening. And she's reinterpreted so many of these characters in so many interesting ways. Let's talk about the main characters for the moment. I don't think we'll go through this episode by episode. Because there's only 13 episodes, we might as well condense the whole thing. So we've got Adora / She-Ra. She is a member of the Horde until she gets lost one day in the Whispering Woods, finds an ancient magical sword, and becomes She-Ra, Defender of Etheria. Big magical woman with awesome magical powers and sword, and is fucking awesome. She kick ass, but also like she's trying to find herself. She's trying to adjust to life with the Princess Rebellion, the Princess Resistance, as opposed to growing up in the Horde. And it was shown from the offset that she's not a bad person. She just was used to this one kind of life, and now she's in this other kind of life, and she has trouble adjusting. And it's very... She's so cute. She's so cute and charming and quirky when she needs to be, but also very...
She loves horses.
Horsey! Ah!
I love that scene. She's like, this is the best day of my life. She just a pet a horse.
She sees a horse and she's like, what is that? That's a horse. It's because she's never seen a horse before. Like, they're fucking majestic creatures. Of course she's that. And then she makes it more majestic accidentally by giving it a unicorn and horse wings. And then it can fucking talk! But we'll get onto that another time. And so there's 3 main characters. There's Adora, and then there's Glimmer and Bo. Glimmer is a princess of Bright Moon, basically the main precinct of the main headquarters of the Resistance. And the daughter of, like, the queen of the Resistance, if you will.
And kind of going back to what we were talking about last week, that's Katana from Suicide Squad.
Really?
Yeah, Karen Fukuhara.
Oh, wow. Oh, she traded up. Wow.
Range.
Yeah, because
Glimmer is a very different person than Katana.
Oh, well, first of all, she has a personality and an interesting backstory. Like, actually, you know what? Katana had an interesting backstory. It just looked like a blink and you miss it lie. This is Katana. She's got your back, and she's got a magic sword that has the soul of her husband in it, and that's all you need to know, and that's it. Boom.
This is Glimmer. She's sad her mom doesn't let her do anything.
The thing about Glimmer is she is desperate to prove herself. She's got magical powers and that she can teleport and shoot, like, fiery bolts of sparkles. It sounds more impressive than it is. If Jubilee can be impressive, so can she. And and she's cute in her own way, and she often butts heads with her mum, Angela, the Queen of Bright Moon. But it's one of those things where you can understand where both characters are coming from. They've got a very interesting dynamic and room for them to grow. She's got a tragic backstory because her dad was like the king of Bright Moon and stuff, and he died. Oh shit, did he die?
I think his death was the reason why the original Princess Alliance fell apart.
Apparently so, yeah, because there used to be a Princess Alliance back when the Horde first started, and then it fell apart. So all the princesses are off in their various little kingdoms, just trying to hold on to their own individual land. It's basically the beginning of Mass Effect 3 up in here. As it's just like, okay, so I know we stand a better chance if we're all united and such, but let's all split off and go to our own things, because that works out really well. Because alliances in war against an oncoming enemy never work out. Fucking Asari is supposed to be the wisest people in the galaxy. Anyway. Oh god. Anyway, and so she's called, and then there's Bo. Oh, Bo, my sweet babu. Bo is the cutest ball of enthusiasm you will ever meet in your life. He gives them the nickname Best Friend Squad. That should tell you enough about him. And he's always positive, he's always funny, he's always, like, eyes wide and sparkling with amusement. And I particularly like this because it is so rare for a male character to act in this way, in this kind of cutesy, enthusiastic, let's go get him, guys, kind of way. We don't know every single male character is going to be gruff and gritty. Sometimes they'll be quirky, sometimes they'll be witty and stuff. But there's always an element of aloofness. And Bo holds nothing back in terms of emotion. It's fantastic. I mean, the guy's got a slightly disguised, but it's so fucking obviously there, heart on his chest.
Yeah. His my friends and I have a theory that he is a princess and that his power is friendship and just likability.
I mean, like, he's like a human person who escaped from Equestria, my Little Pony place.
Yeah. He's just this pure soul who wants everyone to be okay. There's like a great comic I saw somewhere where like Glimmer is wearing a shirt that says "Let me say fuck," and Bo is wearing a shirt that says "Don't let her say fuck."
I mean, yeah, that's him. But he's always supportive and always, and that's what I say. He doesn't have, his sad moments or his darker moments or his moments where he's not happy about everything. Because, he's a fully fledged character. He's got dimensions to him. And we don't get much in the way of backstory, but, like, he's the only guy in this alliance of princesses. There's got to be a reason for that, and I'm sure we'll find that out entirely one day. He mentioned in the early episodes that he grew up in the Whispering Woods, and, like, that's got to be interesting. I wonder how he joined up with them, but it's great. And all three of those voice characters are voiced by great actors. Karen Fukuhara, as he says, Amy Carrero is Adora, and Marcus Scribner is Bo, and they're just great. They've got so much chemistry. They play off each other so well. As does AJ Michalka as
Mishaka.
Mishaka, right? Thank you. As Catra, she's great because, I mean, she's just such a great antagonist because she oh my god, I love it. I love the characters like this where they're on the side of bad, but you actually really like them and you enjoy spending time with them as much as the heroes. She's got a few cat-like quirks and personalities, but she's kind of aloof, but she's also friendly and fun and engaging, and she's got a real chip on her shoulder, especially when it comes to Shadow Weaver, who hates her. They hate each other. And it's interesting because I love it when characters have different dynamics with everyone. Catra's dynamic with She-Ra, it's not the same as her dynamic with Shadow Weaver, and Scorpia, who is also adorable. Even though she's got fucking scorpion arms and a scorpion tail, she's amazing. Bo's relationship with Adora is not the same as Glimmer, etc., etc. And it just means that every single scene you can have any random assortment of characters, and that scene will be entirely unique in terms of them playing off each other. It's brilliant. Oh god,
I love that Catra's like fully aware that the Horde is evil, and she's known her entire life. But she's there for Adora.
Oh, yeah.
And she hasn't left because of Adora. Like, I love Catra.
Oh, God. And because, like, Adora, for her, it's a shock. She's like, wait, the Horde is evil? Oh, shit, they are evil. I can't believe I never knew. Catra, did you know the Horde was evil? Duh. Yeah, of course. Have you not been paying attention? I thought you knew that.
Yeah, I love, I don't know if you ever heard about AJ Mishaka's band when she was a Disney star.
Oh, she was a Disney star. Well, she's in DreamWorks.
She was a Disney star with her sister.
She's in DreamWorks now. She's in DreamWorks now.
Yeah, she's in DreamWorks
it's fine.
now. But they had a girl band. It was just Allie and AJ, and they have this fantastic song called the Potential Breakup Song,
Ooh.
which was my anthem when I was in like middle school. But it's like I was re-listening to it just because I was thinking about it now, and like it's a Catra song. It's like a hardcore, like, wow, this is giving me some Catra vibes.
Oh.
It's like, this could be us breaking up if you admit that you were wrong.
God damn it, Adora, why won't you fuck me? Anyway.
Yeah.
And then, so in terms of antagonists, we've got Catra. We've also got Hordak, who's sort of just in the background. He looks pretty scary. He's a good update of the original character, but there's not really that much focus on him. He's sort of like the emperor in this whole thing. And the Darth Vader is pretty much Shadow Weaver, voiced by Lorraine Toussaint? I don't know. And she's brilliant because at first she seems like this all-powerful, truly terrifying villain. But then you learn more about her, you learn more about her backstory, and you learn more about where her powers come from. And you realise, oh, she is just desperately holding to all of her powers as she can. It's a facade, this omnipotence of hers, and she's terrified that facade is going to crack. And, oh, God. And she's can be genuinely terrifying. Genuinely terrifying just because she's got this mask on, and like her costume is, like outfit is constantly flapping and flowing, and her hair is swirling about the place. Except when she's straight at power, then it's lank and it's. Can we just talk about the animation on this? Because
it's gorgeous.
It's gorgeous, but here's the thing: at times it can be simplistic. I reminded me very much of the animation used for Marvel's Spider-Man, the recent Spider-Man cartoon. Here's the thing, though. Spider-Man's cartoon looks flat, washed out, lifeless, and fucking cheap. She-Ra's looks the exact opposite. It looks simplistic, and yet somehow detailed, bright, colourful, standout, smooth, flowing, engaging, vibrant. It's the best kind of animation for this. It's traditional animation with one or two bits of computer animation here and there. But for the most part, it just looks fucking amazing and engaging, and at times really fucking beautiful. When you see She-Ra for the first time battling this giant monster, and in later scenes where we see like the grimy grittiness of the Fright Zone where the Horde's from, it's just like, oh god, this animation is so good.
And like all the background characters have like, you can tell that they are also like well fleshed out characters. At least like you don't hear anything of them, but you can tell they're all different people, and you're like, oh, I recognize that person. They were in the town earlier today. Yeah,
and it's so stand out. And so let's talk about some of the side characters. We mentioned Scorpia. She's another member of the Horde, former princess whose kingdom basically, like, as soon as the Horde came, was like, we give up, have this giant crystal magic thing, and, you know what, have our daughter, she's a scorpion. And she's just, again, she's like Bo, she's just a big, bouncy... The first time we see her, she looks dark and imposing, and then she sees Catra, she's like, Kitty, hug! Ah! And it's, oh! And first of all, Scorpion, yeah, you should respect people's boundaries, personal space, but also... She's just so fun, and even though she acts in opposition to the heroes, you never dislike her, because it's one thing to make us like the heroes, it's another thing to make us like the villains. It's truly good writing. And
I got the vibe. I mean, she even mentions it that like the princesses really didn't like, the other princesses really didn't like their kingdom even before the Horde showed up. So it was pretty easy to switch sides, and it like, she's uncomfortable at princess prom, and like, she could have been this very stoic, like, general character, and instead she's just a sweet girl that just wants to be friends with people and doesn't really understand where the line between good and evil is.
Yeah, and it's clear that she's I don't know about full-on discrimination, but certainly people have not responded to her in a very positive way for no clear reason, and that has a knock-on effect, and it shows that when you treat people that way, yeah, maybe they will join the bad guys. You get what you give out, you put into the world. And we also get several other princesses. There's Entraptor, who
I love her.
I mean, so spoiler warning, by the end of the series, she kind of switches sides. She gets kind of left behind and she joins the bad guys, but she's doing it just because she wants to experiment with the this technology, the first one tech, and you can see why, and you can see. I mean, I didn't really like Entraptor, but I did like her simply because she's so kooky, she's so quirky, she's so funny. But you can tell that her main priority is not ethics, good or bad. It's about studying technology. It's the classic case of ethics not guiding science. She doesn't care about that sort of stuff. Not that she wants to cause harm in any way, shape, or form. She just wants to experiment. That's all, and she doesn't care who she really does that for. And
I love that. I mean, especially in like in Princess Prom when like she meets Catra, and Adora has to explain to her, no, she's a bad guy. And Raptor's like, well, she's helping me. She can't be a bad guy.
She brought me tiny food. She likes she only likes tiny food. And oh god. And then we've got Perfumer, who's got flower power basically. And at first you think like she's just gonna be traditional wet blanket, like, oh, I can't fight. Oh, I'm just a princess. Oh, I can't fight. Oh, wait a minute. I have fucking plant power. Yeah, eat it. Get strangled by vines. Choke on my pollen, bitches.
She like comes into a fort and like yells, "This is the best day ever!" while she's like punching people with vines.
She's great. Voiced by Genesis Rodriguez. I remember. I've heard of that. What's she been in? Oh, she's in Entourage. Never mind then. Then we got.
Everyone's in Entourage. Oh my gosh, she was Honey Lemon in Big Hero 6.
That's where I know her from.
That makes a lot of sense, actually.
Yes, actually, yeah. Then you got Mamista, who's this aqua mirror mermaid princess. Who
I also like her.
At first, I thought I wasn't gonna like her because she has that sort of like that faux. Orbi Plaza, oh, you're here then. I don't know, like whatever. Kind of bored, disinterested voice that I really don't like. But then you get used to her and you realize it's like she doesn't dislike people per se. It's just her way of speaking. And she's more than willing to help. She's more than willing to do stuff. And like she knows where the line between good and evil is. And she's fine. And she warms up a little bit, and she's
got the hots for She-Ra. Like the second she sees She-Ra, she's like, oh, okay, this is what I'm dealing with.
I mean, let's be honest, every female character
got the hots for She-Ra.
Yeah, who doesn't? And then you got Froster, who's a little kid, and at first she seems like a kind of a bratty, stuck-up princess kid, like a 10-year-old. But you realise then, wait a minute, this is a 10-year-old who has like the entire hopes of her nation resting on her shoulders pretty much ever since she's been born. And she gave her the vibe of that kid character, like that Lady Mormont character from Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Played by that kid. And she's a really interesting character. And she doesn't immediately like She-Ra, but that's okay, because if everyone immediately likes She-Ra, it would be a very boring cartoon. And she has good reasons for disliking She-Ra. And then I
gotta imagine her introduction was a Vine reference. It was a Vine where a girl says like, everyone thinks I'm 9, I'm 11, so shut the fuck up. And the first conversation that she has with Adora is like, oh my god, she's 9, and she's like, I'm 10. And like all I was waiting for was, so shut the fuck up. I was waiting for that.
A lot of people want them to say fuck in this show, but then we have Then we have someone who is quite possibly my favourite character in this show. I don't know why. I wish I knew why, but I fucking love him. It's Adventure She-Hawk. Seahawk. I need to call him She-Hawk, but Seahawk. Oh my god, Seahawk. He's so much fun. He's so funny. Oh my fucking god.
Yeah, he's hilarious, and I love his relationship with Mermista. Obviously they've been on several dates, but she doesn't want to admit it that she likes him.
I mean, I'm waiting for him to get with Bo. Clearly, there's some. I know Bo kind of maybe.
Bo's super into him.
he seems super into Bo, because like he's talking with Mr. at Princess Prom. And it's like, come on, Mister, we shall go and get the. Oh, hey, Bo. And it's done much better in the show. It's off screen, but it's oh god, it's. I ship everyone. I ship everyone. There's a couple of other characters. I can't remember this character actually. Castor Speller.
That was Glimmer's aunt.
Oh yes, voiced by
Sandra
Sandra Oh. Yeah, and she's kind of like one of those aunts that I think some people have. That is just like those family members, just like, oh, I'm so glad you're here. Why aren't you wearing that Christmas jumper?
Yeah,
just
you
like,
know, your mom never sends me any letters.
Like so friendly and inviting and warm, but also kind of passive aggressive. It's a very interesting character. Sandra Oh's doing a lot of good stuff recently.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And then we've got this one character, Raz, who shows up a couple of times as from the original cartoon as well. Voiced by Grey Griffin, one of the best voice actors working in the industry right now.
Yeah, Gray is like every side character in the show. Every background character. If there's like a random like town person or a random guard, it's like, oh, that's Gray. Like it's just she changes her voice ever so slightly, and you can tell it's her immediately. Yeah,
because I mean, the thing with Grey Griffin, she's a very good voice actor, but she's got one of those voices that she's a lot that's just so immediately recognizable and yet so generic as well. I mean that in the best way possible, because it's one of those. If we want like an American female character, I immediately think of Grey Griffin, and that's not to say she can't do other characters. I've heard her work; she's amazing. But I can always immediately pick out her Catwoman. She voices Catwoman again in DC supervillains or Lego DC supervillains, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that's Grey. I know that. Well, she was I think she was Catwoman in the Arkham series. Yeah. She is to Catwoman, I think, what Mark Hamill is to the Joker. It's just it's just kind of definitive.
Oh, she's great.
She's absolutely brilliant. And then we've got Swiftwind, who turns up at like the second episode and the third episode, but then doesn't appear until right at the very end. Basically, and then suddenly he can talk. He was an ordinary horse that She-Ra accidentally shot with like a bolt of magical lightning from her sword, and it turned him into a horse with a unicorn horn and wings, basically Swiftwind from the original series. And then he shows up later, fully capable of speech and cognitive thought and stuff, and is desperate to release all other horses from what he considers to be slavery. That's fucking funny. It's amazing. But it's like, I remember from the original cartoon, the way Swiftwind talked, and it just, like, from the She-Ra He-Man Christmas special, there's like these robots that can transform. And they're like, oh, I wonder what they're parodying here. Huh? And then Swiftwind's just like, they're transforming into other machines. What evil robots. I'm just like, that voice should not be coming out of that horse. That is way too. No. That he sounds fucking creepy. No. Why?
I mean, I don't think I was like that big of a fan of his voice in this show either. I feel like maybe it was because it came out of nowhere. Yeah. Like, he just shows up in like the second to last episode, just like, hey, I'm Swiftwind. I can talk. Deal with it. My name is not Horsey. Yeah, Raz mentions that she spoke to him, and then he doesn't speak. Apparently, like she's the one who's when Adora wakes up, she's like, he doesn't like to be called Horsey. He thinks it's a dumb name. His name is Swiftwind. And then he disappears and then comes back and he can talk on his own. He doesn't need Raz. I guess he just learned the power of the English language just by himself out in the wilderness off screen. Like, yeah. I wish there was a little bit more build up to that, because it definitely felt like we just need him for the finale. Yeah, that's one of the things that I thought was kind of rushed about the last couple of episodes. The rest of the last couple of episodes, I did not think were rushed at all, to be honest. I thought they were fucking nail-biting. So basically, what the story has been for the whole thing, first, 3 episodes, She-Ra discovers her heritage, discovers that she's the She-Ra, she discovers that she's got to join the Resistance, and the Horde is evil. Then the next couple of episodes about them going to various kingdoms and trying to recruit all these princesses for the Princess Alliance. And all the while, Catra and Shadowweave are trying to get her back to the Horde.
I don't know what they're going to do once they get her back. Oh, wait, it turns out they're going to brainwash her because they try to launch an assault with all the princesses and Seahawk on the Fright Zone, and it goes horribly wrong. Entraptor seemingly is killed, but I'm sitting there thinking, she's not dead, she's not dead, she's not dead. And you know how I know she's not dead? Because I didn't see a fucking body!
Yeah.
No body, no deadsies!
It's still a kid's show. They can't just kill off a character that, like, had a whole episode dedicated to her.
But that's the thing, you see, if they did, that would be so gutsy and so impressive. But, like, they didn't do it, so I don't call it a cop-out as such. And it's like, just like, shows you how Bee's captured. Because, like, everyone's like, oh my god, I can't believe she's dead. And then everyone's just like, well, one person died in this brutal war for the planet. Well, let's call off the whole alliance. Just like, it's amazing you went this far with no one dying before. Like, this is, like, you still won the day. You just, they went in there to rescue a couple of people, and they got them out, and they lost one person. Like, sad, yes. Mourner, yes. You did fucking well. Like, how many people, again, going back to Mass Effect, how many people have died at this point in Mass Effect 3? Like, half the galaxy, including several main characters. Fucking Morden died, and you would call this whole thing off? I think not!
Yeah.
But anyway, and so then before that, and while they're doing things, we get Princess Prom, which is...
best episode.
Best episode, because basically all the princesses get invited to a big party. Yay! And including ones that maybe be allied with the Horde, because it's a neutral ground. You can all come as long as there's no violence. Adora struggles with this concept, especially when Scorpia turns up in a killer dress, and Catra shows up in her version of a tuxedo. Oh my fucking god. And they dance together.
Oh my god.
Dance while Catra taunts her, and they're just like, go /fic writers, go!
It is so, like, and like, the way Catra and Shadow Weaver talk about She-Ra is such a huge, like, allusion to, like, Adora coming out, that it's like, Catra says that it's just a phase and that she'll get out of it, and they talk about it like they don't believe that she could possibly be gay.
There's a lot of coding here. There's a lot of metaphors, and I mean, they'll sail over the heads of maybe younger kids or people like me who aren't that familiar with these sort of things. But it's there. It's fucking there, and I don't know whether Noelle Stevenson and the crew are telling, but if they are, they're probably at least like nodding knowingly and suggestively.
Well, Noelle tweeted, and this is a while ago. This is before She-Ra, I think. Unless otherwise stated, assume all of my characters are gay.
Yeah. I think that's...
All right.
I mean, I don't like to make assumptions, but in a show like this, I might well.
Yeah. Oh god, Catra is peak lesbian. It's great.
Oh god. I want her to have a relationship with Adora and Scorp at the same time.
Yes.
Like a polyamorous lesbian relationship, please.
Do it.
Oh, and it's and then obviously Entraptor gets captured by the other side, but she's hidden from Shadow Weaver and Hordak until later on. And there's so many different. What I like about it is different factions within the evil side. Hordak has his own agenda. Shadow Weaver has her own agenda. Catra and Scorpio have their own agenda. Well, actually, Scorpio doesn't really have an agenda aside from making sure that Catra loves her. And Entraptor has her own agenda. And they discover things about the world, about Etheria. And it's clear they're setting things up for a later season. But it's done in an interesting way. It's piquing our curiosity. Not like what DC do, where they just drop... Like, ooh, here's this character that I think you know. Would it be great if he was in... Like, if you saw him more? I'm just like sitting there like, yes, DC, yes, that would be great. What are you going to do with him? We don't know, but he's there. Why is he there? He is! Because, you know, we know that you like that character. Yes, but what purpose does he serve in the story? Oh, forget it.
Well, I mean, Marvel does that too. They just kind of name drop, and then they don't do anything with that. So
because it's so
I think
small and so
that's
subtle.
the problem of adaptations,
But
of kind of alluding to a character and never using them.
I respectfully disagree. Sometimes, like, remember when they name dropped Stephen Strange? It's like, he's one of the characters we've got to kill. And it's like, okay, well, why? Why do you have to kill Stephen Strange? We didn't know who this. Oh, it turns out he's the Sorcerer Supreme. And, like, against... I think Marvel is better thought out, but anyway, we're talking about something good. We're talking about, not DC, we're talking about something good. And, fun episodes, big siege on Bright Moon. It's very dramatic, a lot of emotion. All the characters come together, and it's amazing. And it ends with Princess Alliance restored, She-Ra victorious, and Catra earning enough of Hordak's not sympathies, respect, shall we say, that she replaces Shadow Weaver as his new second in command. And it's this interesting dynamic between her and She-Ra. They're both rising through the ranks on opposite sides. And every time I think there's a chance that Catra might switch sides and go with the rebellion, it just gets cruelly snatched away from me. There's an episode or so where they're trapped in this ancient First One's temple, and they're experiencing each other's memories of the childhood, and revelations are made, and they go through so much emotional wringing. And I just think, oh, they just gonna. I'm shouting at the screen, just like, shut up and kiss each other. But it never happens. And then there's like a Darth Maul moment where she stood over Adora. She's hanging from a cliff, and just like, you know what, Adora, I am over you. And she walks away, and she's like, oh shit, oh no.
I need them to make up. And there's also a theory that Catra's a princess and she doesn't know it.
Oh.
Because there's when like Light Hope is showing all of the silhouettes of the princesses, there's one that's orange that we've never seen before.
Oh. And this I do want a second season. I want it soon, but I'm willing to wait. But oh god, I haven't binged anything like this in quite a while. I literally just like, I'll watch the first episode, see if it's any good. 13 episodes later. All of them. It's tricky because I was staying at my parents' house, and I can't spend 13 hours watching television with my parents in the house because they'll have questions. Scott, are you going to leave your room anytime soon?
I watched it all the way through the week before finals, and then my friend came over, and we watched it all the way up to Princess Prom. So and that was in the span of 2 days. Like I had watched all of one and then up to Princess Prom again. Like I got through this show fast.
It's one of the things where it's a show that the individual episodes are structured very nice, but the show as a whole, the season as a whole, is structured in a way that just one episode flows right to the next, even if they take place in separate locations and deal with different stories and characters. And speaking of the characters, one other thing I like about them, there's a wide range of body types in this show.
Yes.
Unlike the original show,
they completely overhauled all of. Cause, that was a problem in the original She-Ra, is that everyone looked exactly the same.
All the men are like big, huge muscles.
Yeah.
Even fucking Adam, when he's not being He-Man, he's just like barely contained biceps in a pink overshirt. It's just like, that's not much of a disguise, Adam. You don't even change your hair with the fucking page boy haircut. Meanwhile, we got this where She-Ra looks very different than her as Adora. Glimmer's got sort of an endomorphic body type. All the men look different, all the women look different. And it's great. I hate it when shows show everyone exactly the same, because people are not exactly the same. They're generally speaking, there's 3 types of body types, and that should be represented in the show. There's, if I can remember from school, endomorphic, mesomorphic, ectomorphic. We see all of those in that show. Ectomorphic makes me think of something from Ghostbusters. I don't know. and there was
I like the new personalities and the new character designs, because I've just been looking at pictures of the original She-Ra show, and Scorpia and Catra don't seem to really like each other, but they also look exactly the same except with different makeup. And Entrapta too, like she is just a rail with giant pigtails. And like really nothing else. And I like that she has this huge personality, and that she like her power, like everyone has their powers that play into their aesthetic a lot. Her power is just that her pigtails are sentient and she uses it to become a mechanic, which I think is so cool.
Take that, Medusa from the Inhumans. What did you do with your hair powers? Nothing! And this question apparently caused a bit of a controversy on social media. Shock of all shock, a controversy on social media. And some people were basically not happy that this new version of She-Ra wasn't as, quote, sexy as the original.
Mm-hmm.
And my first reaction to that is, fuck you. My second reaction to that is, oh look, it's J. Michael Straczynski, the co-creator of the original series and one of the best writers working in the industry, commenting that She-Ra is a warrior first and foremost, and that anyone who's looking back at as the ideal woman is doing through a lens of prepubescent interest, and and that wasn't basically the creative. Basically, he was saying, like, if you found her sexy before, that's fine. This character's not intended to be sexy. If you find her sexy, great. If not, no worries. And she's absolutely fine the way she is, and good on him for saying that. And good on Noelle Stevenson and the people who designed these new versions for making these, like, it's, I mean, here's the thing. In my years of being a sexually repressed British man, I've discovered one thing. People will wank over anything. It doesn't matter if you try and make something sexy or not, there's always going to be at least one person out there that's going to find that appealing, and that's fine. So you might as well just try and make the character as fully fleshed out and developed as you can and have an interesting design, rather than always having a sexy design. I'm looking at you, Rob Liefeld. Because otherwise it's just boring and generic. You can have sexy characters that are designed to be sexy, but if that's everyone, that's gonna be boring. And if you demand that every single female character is because, like, believe it, female characters, human beings in general, are more than just their sexiness. Don't get me wrong. As a species, we are sexy as fuck. All the other aliens are very jealous of us. But that's not all we are. We are complicated beings. And this is a kid's show as well.
Yeah.
Like, come
on.
I
think the only character that really has, like, who looks like they could have, like, an original design with, like, obvious boobs and all obvious shape is Angela. And she's an adult. Like, she's one of the few adults in the show, and it makes sense.
Yeah, and it's,
I love her voice.
Yeah,
Angela's voice is like the most relaxing thing to listen to ever.
Oh, see, I think that's no offense, but I think that's probably because you're American. For me, it had no effect on me because I mean, I'm fucking used to it.
It's so like crisp, like it's I don't know, something about it that it's like it's so nice to hear, just like her being she's just like the most high class kind of fancy voice and it works for her.
Yeah, well, it's a British actor, well, a British American actress who voices the character, born in Manchester. I can tell you right now, people from Manchester don't sound like that, but it's very royal, it's very proper, although I think you find the Queen actually, I mean, I just imagining the Queen voicing the character like, Glimmer, I don't think this was a good idea.
Yeah.
The Queen does not sound like that. Maybe someone pretending to be the Queen in drag sounds like that, but not that. And yeah, that's the thing. All the voice actors are so perfectly suited to them, and they're so engaging as voice actors. I think a mark of a bad voice actor is not how they sound, but whether or not I envision it in my mind, a person behind a mic in a sound booth voicing the role. This is a problem I have with the trailer for Detective Pikachu. Like, I love Ryan Reynolds. I think he can be a good voice actor. The problem is, when I see that character and that trailer, I don't see Detective Pikachu with a voice like Ryan Reynolds. I hear Ryan Reynolds' voice coming out of Pikachu.
Yeah.
And that's very different. Not the case here. Even when I know the actors behind the roles, I don't hear them. I didn't even know Sandra Oh was voiced in Castaspella when I first heard it, because I didn't even think of that for a second.
I had literally, I think I binged all of the first season of Killing Eve a few months before I watched this, and I still was like, had no idea.
Oh god, there's so much else we could talk about. I mean, what I like about this is it's very clear that the stakes are real. There is an active resistance going on against the Horde, and they will run over all of Etheria to crush them.
And they've lost people. Like they make that very. I mean, obviously Glimmer's mom or Glimmer's dad, but like Bo mentions, we've all lost people. So like Bo's probably lost someone. I'm sure Mermista's lost people. Like everyone seems like on edge, always scared of losing someone because they probably have.
Well, it is kind of weird when there's multiple nations in this world and the only rulers they have are princesses.
Children. Yeah.
Children, princesses, no princes, no queens, no kings, not even like a duke or an earl or a count or something. It's all princesses. So there's clearly been some sort of culling going on.
They mentioned that Mermista like just inherited it from her father.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know what Frost's deal is. Like, what happened to her parents? Are they both dead?
Must be.
Is that why she's so like uptight?
Dead or imprisoned. Because she could be a regent, but even so, it's still on her. Yeah, so clearly people have died, and there's huge scale battles in this. And I think in the original series, especially with He-Man, as far as I'm aware, it's one of those cases of like, okay, we've got a thing to do, let's fight Skeletor for a little while, and then boom, reset for the next episode. Yeah. Not the case here. There is continuity, there are consequences, and there's a knock-on effect from episode to episode.
Yeah, I thought, based on like the middle chunk of episodes, I thought that the show was just going to end up being Recruit a Princess, that's the show. Recruit a Princess, that's the show. Yeah. But like the last season of Teen Titans, how that got that way. But I like that, like at a certain point it goes away from that, and because they don't have time to go out and collect individually each princess, they have to the Horde isn't going to wait for them to get ready.
No, they've got to get a fucking move on, because while you're making plans, they're making plans, and it feels like it's a race to see who can win, essentially. And it means from episode to episode, even with one of the calmer, more gentler episodes, there's always this undercurrent of tension. Like, this is a fight for our lives, guys. Serious time now. And it's great that a show like this, especially for kids, shows that, and shows that you don't need to be gritty or dark or gory, but you can have genuine stakes and genuine tension, rather than just like, hey, it's fun, we don't need to worry about shit like this. And it's clear that this show does stand on shoulders of other previous cartoons that have done these sort of things. And because I think more and more recently we're getting a lot of... I haven't watched that, well, any really, of My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic. I think I've seen like the first episode and thought like, I'm done. But it's clear that... I think there was an influence. I think because it's a big show. It's done really well.
I think serialized animated kids shows, I think, is becoming like a big trend. There's no longer just like the cookie cutter episodes that you can put in anywhere for the sake of reruns. Yeah,
it's getting pretty big. What was the other thing? I love that Troll Hunter. Show from Guillermo del Toro. I thought that was pretty cool. I haven't watched that recently, maybe because there's a lot of it. But I think She-Ra is a really positive step forward. And what I'm hoping is that other showrunners and other production companies will look at She-Ra and see this as something to be an example to be followed. Because we need more stuff like She-Ra. Not exactly like it, because then every show would be the same and that would be boring. But something cool, because I mean, this has got action, adventure, fantasy, sci-fi. Hell, like when Adora transforms into She-Ra, it's like a stereotypical Sailor Moon magical girl transformation sequence. It's fucking amazing.
There's definitely like a formula there. You're like, you definitely need one She-Ra transformation per episode. But what, like, And I love that transformation. It never gets old. I love seeing it. I get excited every time.
I like the way she twirls the sword
starts.
around. It's so cool, and they don't overuse it. They sometimes shorten it down a bit. Sometimes it happens off screen when they just get the action going. Because the problem with magical girl transformations is that they can sometimes just sort of like pause the episode while we're waiting for the transformation to happen. But they use it effectively.
I think when it happens, it's for important reasons. Like I think in the Mermista episode, especially, like she doesn't do the transformation until she's like trying to fix the gate, but she does transform into She-Ra before that. It's just like a flash, and then she dives into the water to fight a giant sea monster, because it's not needed there. You don't need the whole transformation there.
Absolutely. And it's clear that they put a lot of fucking thought into this, and it really shows the effort behind the scene on every level, from the animation to the voice acting to the writing to the direction to the thematic elements. All just comes together and shows that they really, really, really fucking thought about it. Even the fucking theme song is awesome.
Yeah, and I appreciate that. Like none of the characters just disappear. All of the princesses come back for different. Like they still exist in the world after their episode is over.
Yeah. It's not one and done, now go and buy the action figure. They're real characters with real goals and motivations and dynamics of everyone else that play a bigger part in the show. And it's clear they're building something. Are you eating an apple right now?
No, sorry. I was trying to get my hair out of my face and it hit my microphone.
Oh, sorry. It sounded like you were eating an apple. Anyway, and it's clear that people respond to this in a very positive way. Right now, on Rotten Tomatoes, do you want to guess what the percentage it has?
85 to 90.
Wrong. It's 100%.
Oh, shit. Really?
Out of 15 reviews currently, as far as I'm aware.
Okay, 15. But
well, like, there's 50. Bear in mind, this show came out in November. In fact, let me just double check that. November 13th is when it came out. And, okay, yeah, so out of 21 reviews since November the 13th, it stands at 100% with an audience score of 72% positive.
Yeah, I'm really glad that it's getting the recognition it deserves.
Everyone praises the story, the characters, the diversity.
Yes.
And guys, it's Steven Universe. Steven Universe is the one I'm thinking of. People compared it positively to Steven Universe.
Yeah.
The animated Avatar series. Because no, not the live action one. Because fuck that.
No, yeah, absolutely.
and everyone basically says this is amazing. It's not perfect because nothing is, but it's fucking amazing. If I had kids, I would demand that they watch this.
Yeah. I've got two very little cousins that I don't get to see much, but I hope that they're watching this show because I know that they would love it. I will make you watch this show, and it will turn you gay. Yeah. No. The gay agenda is seeping into our children's media.
Yes, good. I think it could seep in a bit more.
Yay!
Oh, and it's great. It's great for representation for that aspect, especially for female characters and female artists working in the industry. As we said, it's I'm trying to think of something that what don't I like about it? What don't I like about it? I don't like Swiftwind's presentation towards the end of the show. Yeah, it was kind of rushed. He pops in. Hello, I'm a talking horse. Deal with it. Yeah. I mean, okay, but I have questions. Yeah, I'm trying to think of, I don't know, from like a story and consistency point, the people that live with Perfuma call She-Ra the She-Ra, implying that they understand that it's a position that you hold and not a person. And that's only revealed in later when she's not the She-Ra they want her to be. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm just like a 8-foot-tall mythical warrior from the depths of time. But apparently I'm not good enough for you. Oh, I'm sorry, flower people. Have fun facing up against the bat Nazis or whatever they are.
Yeah. I mean, like, that's such a small nitpicky thing, though, that, like, I can't really get mad at it.
That guy can't be King Arthur. He hasn't got a beard. He's got Excalibur.
Yeah.
I don't care. My King Arthur has a beard.
Uh-huh. There's the theory online, and I don't know if I want it to be true or not, that Kyle is Adam.
Oh, yes, because there's several side characters still working for the Horde. One of them is this little whoopee. He's a whoopee called Kyle. And
He just wants to make friends. No one listens to him. And he has a lizard boyfriend. Who
Does he?
doesn't have a name, I don't think.
I'm not sure if he is his boyfriend, but I ship it because you
Yeah.
said it. You said it, therefore I ship it.
Yeah. In the first episode, when he gets hit, instead of like his thing turning red or anything, they put a red X right on his chest.
He's like, fail.
Yeah, but like that, like they could have done a million different things there that didn't imply He-Man, but they did that.
Yeah.
I don't know. That I think it would be really funny if it was Kyle and that he just didn't know what he was doing with it.
Yeah, I mean, they couldn't call him Adam because that would be too obvious.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. The second a character named Adam shows up, that's when we know. There he is.
But then it's like the whole, well, then who's protecting actual Grayskull and Eternia? But that's, I don't know. It's an interesting fan theory.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
I'm fine. I'm fine with him just being there with his lizard boyfriend. I guess I didn't know he had one.
He's just always hanging out with the lizard, who I don't think ever speaks.
No, I don't think he speaks ever. I'm like, when is the lizard guy going to speak? But
yeah.
No. There's all sorts of side characters, background characters, even like Natossa and Spinnerella. They're introduced in like the 3rd episode, and then they don't speak.
When my first watch through, whenever like they come back later and Bo mentions them, I totally forgot that they had been in the 3rd episode. When I did the rewatch, I was like, oh. They show up way earlier.
Well, it's a blink and you miss a thing. Like, there's no other princess. Bo was explained to Adora, I think, there's no other princesses here except for Natossa and Spinnerella, but no one knows what they do. And you just see them across the table and they wave. That's it.
Yeah, and I love that my feeling is that the implication that Bo doesn't think they're useful because he can also throw nets, because he does that a couple times with his bow, that he shoots like a net out of an arrow. So he can do what their powers are, and so he finds them useless.
I mean, I don't want to say that throwing a net power is useless, but at the same time, when your power is on par with an Icelandic fisherman, like,
yeah.
I mean, it's not unuseful. They use it creatively in the show. I mean, Spinnerella can create like gusts of wind from beyond the ether. Natossa tosses a net. That's why she's called Natossa. I mean, did her parents know that she would be tossing nets? Like, or did she pick that name? But it's like, I need a new name for me because I'm like a superpowered princess. Well, I toss net. I shall be Vanessa. No, wait, that doesn't make any sense. Natossa!
Yeah. I mean, like, while hers is the most obvious, we also have, Mermista and Glimmer, who's like sparkles, and Angela has wings.
Bo,
Perfuma.
He has one weapon. Yeah. It's a bow.
He's an archer.
I mean, it's like if they called Adora Sword.
Yeah, Sword Lady.
Sword Lady. Yeah, But you don't focus on that. You forget those sort of things because you're so, like, you see this character, Bo, and he's so upbeat and enthusiastic and funny, and you don't care that he's called Bo because he's awesome.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and he loves his midriff-bearing shirts.
Well, I mean, let's be honest, who doesn't in this show? Like, fucking everyone.
I love his outfit in Princess Prom, and then he's like, I need to go get my cummerbund, it's cold in here.
He tears a midriff in his tuxedo, just like, yes! You have a style and you're fine with it!
Yeah, oh god, I made all of these characters in The Sims because I got bored one day, and I had to, like, make all of Bo's shirts in the feminine category because there's no midriff bearing shirts for men, and I was very upset.
I made a She-Ra character in Skyrim using mods on my PS4. It's just like, I gave her a fucking sword. I got the best, closest matching outfit that I can. I even downloaded a mod in the Creation Club that made me find a unicorn to ride. He didn't have wings, but it was the closest I could get.
Yeah.
I love Skyrim, but in order for me to vote, you've no idea the time I sunk into the game trying to recreate She-Ra.
Yeah.
Because I love the show.
The show does that to you.
Yeah.
You fall in love with these characters and you want them to be everywhere. I'm in a Discord right now, a Discord server for fans of She-Ra. I'm the only person who's not a lesbian in it. But, like, all we talk about is, like, different ways we could put them in different things. I have, like, a Young Justice parallels thing going. Because I think it, like, Adora and Catra have a very similar relationship to Artemis and Cheshire. Just kind of flip-flopped.
Except they're not sisters.
No, yeah, they're not sisters. And so people will debate that. And
God.
I've seen the discourse already about Catra and Adora are sisters and can't be together.
I disagree with that entirely. One question. What is Discord?
Oh, Discord is it's like Skype, but there's individual like servers you can join, and you can voice chat in there. You can have different text channels. It's supposed to be for like voice chat for if you're playing a game with someone.
Oh.
But now it's mostly used like join my Discord server for fans of this. And pretty much all of my D&D campaigns all have Discord servers.
Oh.
It's very fun.
I will have to look into that. Jeez.
Yeah.
So I keep on hearing Discord and
it's like Slack. It's just like Slack, except it's more tuned towards video games.
Slack Capers is what a place to hang your cape staff use to communicate with each other.
Yep.
When we communicate with each other. And so yeah, there's that. And because I think it's pretty clear, a fan base is emerging. A strong, powerful, and terrible fan base is emerging from this show. Quite rightly.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I think like every character is so strong, and like I even said this, that I feel called out because every single one of my D&D characters are represented somewhere in She-Ra.
Wow. It's almost like it was designed for you.
Yeah, that's what it feels like. Every time a new character shows up, I'm that's all right. I know that character.
I did that, and they made a TV show out of it. I should sue. Oh God, and I am sure we will have a season 2. It's on Netflix. I don't know what the analytics are for that, but I'm pretty sure.
Oh yeah, they don't share their viewership. I think we just know that it's good if it gets renewed, and I think it probably already did.
Double checking that. No information I can see right now.
If I just type in She-Ra season 2, I get all of the original.
Type in She-Ra 2018 or She-Ra and the Princesses of Power.
Mm-hmm.
I watched this show over Christmas holiday, and I was terrified that my parents were going to come into the room I was in. I was just like, say, "Hey, what are you watching?" And I would have to say, "I'm watching She-Ra and the Princesses of Power."
Yep.
And my dad would just give me this stare, like, "I don't even know who you are anymore." I'd like to say, "Shut up, Dad! It's great."
There's rumors that it'll come out in mid to late 2019, but like that's just super vague. It's just next year. Or this year, sorry.
Weird, considering it's been out for 2 months, and there have been shows that have been renewed far quicker than that. But, I mean, who knows? Who knows? I certainly hope so. I feel there's so much more they could do with these characters, so many more dynamics they could explore. I mean, It is shaping up, I think, to be the Avatar, The Last Airbender of this current generation. kids are going to grow up with this show the same way we grew up with Avatar, and I think it's going to be great. I think it's going to be iconic.
I think this is going to be the show that everyone's like, do you guys remember She-Ra and how awesome that was?
Yeah.
It's going to be going on for forever. It'll never end.
No, I wouldn't say that, because I hate it when shows go on forever, because then they run out of ideas. This has a lot of longevity to it, but I'm sure if they plan it out fine, they will have a great moment to end it on, and it'll be great.
Yeah.
And
definitely.
Then maybe we'll get a He-Man spin-off, and it'll be like the opposite, and that will be the next gayest thing ever.
Yep. It'll give gay little boys something to watch.
Oh, look at that! He's driving around in a pink Cadillac. What fun! He did that. That was an actual movie where he did that.
Boy, of course there is.
Oh my god! It's with Dolph Lundgren as well.
I am always amazed when people choose to think that He-Man is like supposed to be the most like testosterone filled he's not supposed to be your like bear fighting, I want to be that kind of guy. He's supposed to be a fantasy for gay men, and I love it.
From the Christmas special, there's a scene where Skeletor and Hordak are arguing, and Skeletor is just like, "You can't even handle that muscle-brown female She-Ra!" And Hordak's like, "What about the way He-Man handles you?" I'm like, I see what you did there. You did there.
God, that reminds me of the 1960s Batman pounding meme. Where like he's on the phone with Joker and he's like, "If you were here right now, I would pound you into the ground." And then like Batman's right behind him and he says, "Well, start pounding."
Pound, Roman, pound, just like I taught you. Oh, it's like that comic actually of Batman where the Joker goes on and on and on about his boners.
Oh God, yeah. Oh man.
Classic
comics.
Did they know or did they not know? Either way, it's hilarious.
I think it's like partially they know, and other half is that it could have been used for a different thing. But like it's still great now. And there was a really great photo set that I found on Tumblr that was like the first meetings of all of DC's super couples, and like Lois and Clark have a really cute meeting, and Iris and Barry have a really cute meeting, and Batman meeting Catwoman, the first thing he ever said to her in comic books is "Quiet or Papa Spank."
What?
He's like taking off her mask because she's been pretending to be an old woman on a cruise ship, and she's like fighting him off, and he says, "Quiet or Papa Spank."
Really? Like that's actually something that happens in the comic?
In her first appearance ever.
So Batman says to Catwoman in their first appearance, bearing in mind the history of their back and forth, their sexy charisma that they have with him, he says, "Quiet or Papa Spank."
Yep. That was
DC. Really? That is no
DC.
I'm sure at the time that was the "Face It, Tiger, you hit the jackpot" of the day, but no.
It just hasn't aged well at all, and it's still one of the funniest things to me. Because like even also in the 30s, Lois and Clark meeting is like Clark being like, "I'll protect you," or something. It's like something like, "I'm not gonna hurt you." It's something real sweet, and it's not like, oh man, that is one way to set up a 75-year-old relationship.
Oh god, it's actually that's something I really like about this show is that the romance angle is put to one side. There's a hint of a romance everywhere, and there's more explicit statements of possible romance between Bo and Perfumer and Mamista and Seahawk. But aside from that, it's really not a focus.
Yeah, no, it's not. And I'm sure, like, there's a lot of people who are the kind of fans that want it to be the focus. I don't. I think it's I think that the show like it's an action show. Let it have action before it has romance.
Yeah.
And I'm
have
fine with
romance, but like it can't be a focus. And when it does happen, it needs to be between She-Ra and Catra.
It has to be She-Ra and Catra.
Or Catra and Scorpia. Or Catra and basically anyone else.
Yeah. And that was like, that's the problem with like a lot of sitcoms, is that the second they have the will they won't they get together, it becomes boring. And I think recently now a lot of shows have been able to get around it being bad, and I hope She-Ra can do it too. Because like, what is like from this season, if Catra just turned around and said, okay, I'll join you, what's left of the show?
That is a very good point. It's one of the things that if it doesn't happen would have to be left at the end. I agree with that on that whole sitcom thing, because I think I've found in more recent sitcoms a lot of the focus has mainly been on the development of the relationship itself, rather than the will they won't they. They had that for a bit in The Office with Jim and Pam, but after that, after they get together, a lot more focus on what people liked a lot more was them actually being in a relationship. And same with Parks and Rec and lots of other things.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine does it really, really well.
Brooklyn Nine-Nine does it really well several times.
Yeah.
It's one of the things, I think, with the shipping culture we have right now, we don't want the tease as we do the main course, and seeing those relationships with all these different characters grow and develop. And I think that's really what you could say about She-Ra, not so much from a romantic perspective, but it's all about relationships growing and developing. The relationship between Adora and Catra, Glimmer and Bow, Adora and Shadow Weaver, etc., etc., etc. Even Seahawk and Mamister to a certain extent. At first she doesn't like him, then she's like, it was just my ride. I kind of like him. And hell, Entraptor develops a cute relationship with a robot she calls Emily.
Yes, I love. Oh God, Entraptor is a cutie, and I adore her.
Would you say you adore?
Adore her.
Yeah.
I think I have. I've not made that joke, but I have read that joke a million times. Mostly about Catra. Catra adoras Adora.
What I love about the original series is just like, okay, so we want a female version of He-Man. Well, why do we call her, like, have the same letter that he begins with? So Adam, what's her secret name going to be? Well, what's a name that begins with A? Adora. No one's called Adora. We'll call her that anyway.
Yeah. Where did that name come from? It's just like Adam has a generic name. Even like Bo had a generic name. His name was like Kyle or something. And like everyone had generic names except for Adora. Like, where does that even come from?
Her parents were hippies.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
They were surprised by the fact that they had twins.
Oh shit, we'll call one Adam and the other one Adora. Yeah.
Yeah. They're like looking around the room desperately, and they find a door.
Oh god. And it's such a great reimagining of the original show in so many different ways. It updates everything that needs to be updated. It has its own spin on things. It seems distinct from other shows in all the right ways, and similar to all the good things about other shows in all the right ways.
Yeah.
Fucking give us a season 2. Give us a season 2 right fucking now.
Yeah, I want it. And I know they're working on it because I've seen tweets from people working on it and Noelle saying like, oh man, you guys, it's weird looking back at season 1 and how sweet it is because it's heartbreaking now where we are. And I was like, oh god, what are you gonna do to these kids?
Shit, fuck, what are they gonna do? What are they gonna do? Don't you dare hurt any one of them!
They don't deserve it.
Leave Seahawk alone!
Oh god, if they do kill someone, I feel like Seahawk would be first to go.
Well, I mean, he does keep setting all of his ships on fire.
Yeah, he's just gonna forget to get off the ship one time. It's not gonna be the Horde, it's gonna be him. He's gonna accidentally kill himself.
Like, the Horde is just like, shit, I think that guy wanted to die. We didn't even have to do anything. Oh no! Oh, now I'm nervous. Oh no! Leave them all alone. They are my precious babies. Ah!
They're good eggs, and I don't want to see them hurt ever. I want them to be happy forever.
I think that shows just how much we care about these characters. And we're talking about side characters in this way. I think it shows just how special this show truly is. It felt like a breath of fresh air. It really did. And we were, I think we were slightly coming out. Well, maybe still are. We're in a golden age of television. With things like Netflix and stuff like that. And people are trying a lot of stuff that doesn't work, but a lot of stuff that does work.
Yeah.
And this is one of the things that definitely does work. And if we keep going on this trend, our media is not only going to get of a better quality, but it's also going to make us better in turn, with representation and opportunities and fun for all!
Yeah. Oh, definitely. I think that, like, streaming services are definitely conducive to that, but I also think, like, the traditional channels, I think Cartoon Network, Nick, and Disney are all stepping up their game and choosing shows that I think, like, that are, I mean, obviously Cartoon Network is milking Teen Titans Go until it stops making them money.
But they also
have like Steven Universe and Craig of the Creek and Clarence and a lot of other really great shows.
There's a show I watched one episode of, Over the Garden Wall.
Yeah, I think that only lasted like one season, if that. I think it's only like a couple episodes.
It was weird.
Yeah.
It was weird, but fun. And I think if we keep going this track and keep pushing ourselves to be better and make better shows, we as a species will be fine, I think.
Yeah.
Bit of a grandiose suggestion, but I think it's what we need. I think if we need it from our animation, from our shows, especially for our children's entertainment. I've always said it needs to be of the highest quality, same as anything else in a kid's life. And this, I would have no problem showing to any kid. And if you have kids, Capers, and your kids have not seen this, show it to them, force them to it over, just like as soon as they get from school. Right, forget homework, you're watching this. Watch it. Binge with me, Jim Lad. Jim Lad, I turned to, I don't know. on that weird callback to Treasure Island, I think we're going to end the show. Thank you very much, Alex, for joining me again.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I'm glad we got to talk about She-Ra.
So am I. And if you enjoy the show, Capers, please tell your friends, shout it from the rooftops! And if you haven't already, go back and listen to some of our other super episodes, like our last episode talking about Aquaman with Alex. You can listen to the show on iTunes, Podbean, YouTube, Spotify, or at PodCapers.com. We have a Patreon. Check out the rewards, patreon.com/AP2HYC. If you want to get in touch with us, suggest show topics, or maybe come on the show yourself, you can find us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at AP2HYC, or email us at podcapers@ap2hyc.com. Thank you very much to Dan Harris for our logo, the lovely microphone with the red and blue 3D glasses, those are mine, and thank you for listening. This has been PodCapers, the official podcast of a place to hang your cape. Cue the music! It's gonna be a good new year!